Hi, this is Jessica from Asbury Woods, and since we have some rainy days in the forecast, I thought I might invite you into my art room to do a little indoor nature project together. So what I'd like to do with you today is teach you how to draw a tree. Now I'm going to use a greeting card to draw my tree because there are some people in my life that I miss while we're stuck at home. And so someone special in my life, I'd like to create a tree card to send to them. Come on in.
This video is a little bit longer than my usual virtual visits to give you an opportunity to draw along with me. And while this project is geared more towards adults and older children, as a homeschool mom, I'll often give younger children a project like this that doesn't have a right or wrong to give them a chance to explore a little bit. When working on a drawing or painting project at home, I'll often tape down my paper or cardstock to the table just to keep it from moving. So we're going to start with a straight line that will be the line of our trunk, and then we're going to sketch out just the edge of the crown of our tree. We want that to just give us a nice border to work with. So now that we have our trunk and the border of our canopy or our crown of our tree, we're going to go ahead and sketch in the main branches of our tree. This will just give us some place to start. We want to make sure while we're doing this, we're not taking it beyond that line that we've created as the border of the crown. So then I'm going to come back in and I'm just going to thicken the trunk a little bit to give it some weight. So now that we've thickened the trunk, we're going to go back in and fill in our branches a little bit, thicken the inner parts of the branches to connect them to the trunk the way that they would be connected out in nature and give them a little bit of weight. Once we've done that, we're going to kind of extend them out a little bit and fill in some of the gaps where there might be other larger branches on a tree. So now that we have a nice full trunk and some good branches, we're going to start adding in some of the smaller branches that come off the edge. And so we're just going to extend those out from our main branches, just kind of following the line of our larger branches all the way out to our canopy border. Filling some in to give it a little weight on the inside. So the smaller lines can come right out to our canopy barrier because that's going to give us a nice edge, a nice foundation for when we start adding leaves to our tree, because here we're just doing the kind of the skeletal parts of the tree and we're going to want to fill it out. So go all the way around to all the branches. Going to give them a little bit more character here. A lot of our filling in this point is just adding in some branches in places where they naturally might grow, extending our bigger branches. And don't be afraid to add some branches in lightly, even if you're not sure. You can always go back with a pencil eraser and erase the branches that don't really work for the shape of our tree. You can add some thinner branches here and there because we know that there are thinner branches that grow on trees. We're really just trying to fill this out to give us a place to put our leaves. So now that we have our basic tree shape with the branches, we're going to make note of which direction the light is coming from. And I like to have a little light on my work table. And we're going to add some shadows along the side that is not in what would be the sunlight. And so we're going to go ahead and just kind of darken those areas underneath the branches and on the right side of the trunk all the way up the tree. So now that we have a nice trunk and it's well shaded, we're going to use the side of our pencil as if we were doing a rubbing. And that's how we're going to create the areas that will be leaves. And so you're just going to take the side of your pencil lead and kind of as if you were shading or shadowing something, go in and just kind of lightly, and it's a little weird to hold my pencil like this with the camera, but kind of just rub the side of your pencil around to create some leaves. And I kind of jumped ahead a little bit so that you don't have to watch me do every leaf, but you want to make sure you get to every single branch you've created and add some leaves to every single branch all the way out to our crown border. And you want to make sure you also get down below that entire shape of the crown. You want to make sure it's filled in with some leaves. So skipping ahead again, once we have the whole thing shaded, we're going to go back through and add some little curly lines as the edges of all of our leaves to give a little bit of definition to our tree here. You can see there's some definition. We also want to go through and kind of refine and define some of our shadow lines now that we've done a lot of shading and the curls to add the definition to our leaves. We want to go through and kind of define some of the branches that you might see peeking through the leaves in the tree as well to give it a little bit of dimension. And don't forget the bottom areas kind of by the ground as well. So now that we've finished our tree drawing, we're just going to add a little bit of depth down here by just shading a little bit to create some ground. And we're also going to want to sign our drawing so that when we send it to someone, they know that we hand created it just for them. So the last step is just to take our eraser and clean up some of our stray lines. I'm also going to take my finger and soften the bottom and soften the tree up a little bit here. So here you can see my finished product. Now I did add some color by adding a little bit of watercolor paint, but you absolutely don't have to do that. Anyone would be happy to receive a hand-drawn pencil drawing card in the mail. So until next time, stay safe, stay healthy, and come back and join us for more virtual visits.